Hey, Cheryl Critchbaum here. I've been called by the Lord to change the abortion conversation, and that's what I am here to do tonight. And I have an unpopular opinion. So it is Thanksgiving week, and we're all focused on Thanksgiving. But I guarantee you next week we're going to be right back to talking about abortion and laws here in the United States. Because on Wednesday, December 1st, so just a few days after Thanksgiving, the Supreme Court is going to be listening to a case, a pro-life case, involving the state of Mississippi. And so people are going to the Supreme Court that day. I know near me, I live about an hour and a half outside of Washington, D.C., churches are loading up buses to take people to the Supreme Court building. There are people coming from out of state, out of the area to go to the Supreme Court building on December 1st. And it just occurred to me that really isn't, I don't think that's a good idea. And I'm not going. Even though I'm really not that far away from Washington, D.C. myself, I'm not going. And so let me tell you my thoughts on why. So I was talking to my high schooler today about January 6th and everything that happened on that day, talking about the riots that happened in June 2020 and ongoing through the summer of 2020. And so, we were talking about what happened in those situations. And while we were talking, I was like, that's why I'm not going to the Supreme Court on December 1st. We've got all sorts of people going there for the intention of being peaceful and speaking out about the abortion issue. But it's the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is not supposed to be listening to what voters say in this particular situation. They're supposed to be making decisions based on law and based on precedents, right? That's why we have the Supreme Court there. They're not supposed to be making law. And that was the problem with Roe v. Wade in the first place. Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton essentially made law. But let's go back to our civics lessons and remember why we have senators and representatives. They're the ones who are supposed to be making law. Now, isn't it interesting that we do not have a law in place that says that abortion is legal, nor do we have a law in place that says abortion is illegal? Our senators and representatives have not made this happen, but they're trying. They are. There is an act proposed right now. Let me look at the Women's Health Protection Act. The Women's Health Protection Act is out there right now, and the pro-abortion people in the United States are trying to get it passed. And they are concerned about December 1st. They're very concerned about the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton, and they should be. They should be concerned. But if we get law put in place that says that abortion is legal, then it doesn't matter what the Supreme Court says. It doesn't matter if they overturn Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton. So let's go look and see what the other side is doing. Go Google NARAL, N-A-R-A-L, NARAL, N-A-R-A-L. This is a pro-abortion organization that has been in existence since the 1960s. They were advocating for legalized abortion before Planned Parenthood got involved. They've been doing this a long time, and they've been successful. They're the group essentially responsible for New York legalizing abortion in 1970. That's 3 years before Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton. And when New York legalized abortion in 1970, people poured in from all sorts of other states. And Planned Parenthood saw the money, and they joined in. All right, so NARAL has been very successful, and they are not saying, go to the Supreme Court on December 1st. No. What they're saying is, write your senator and tell your senator to vote yes on the Women's Health Protection Act. So what should we be doing? We should be writing to our senators and telling them to vote no for the Women's Health Protection Act. All right, so on that note, I wrote a blog, just got it published. It's out there right now. You can go take a look, and let's see if I can put it in. I'll put it in the comments. It'll show up on some of the platforms that this video is going to, but not all. So I'll have to go in afterwards and find it and post it. But you can go to my blog right now and use this as a sample letter. Now, I do have some things in there that are specific to me because I am post-abortive, so clearly you'd want to take those things out. They're at the end. But I highly recommend that you write or call your senator. And when you do, don't talk about the baby. And I know that's really hard to hear because babies are being murdered. But that's not what the other side thinks. They think that taking away the right to have an abortion hurts women. And just the opposite is true. And that's why I am doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm speaking out. I know that abortion hurts women because it hurt me and I didn't even realize it for 14 years. And I'm not the only one. The more women that I talk to, the more I read, the more I go looking for other people's testimonies, the more I see that other women feel like I do. That abortion didn't just suck my baby out of me, it sucked the life out of me. And I was one of the lucky ones. I wasn't physically harmed. I wasn't coerced by anybody. I wasn't pressured by anyone. And I know that it hurt me. There are lots of women who've been hurt by abortion. Some realize it immediately, and some don't realize it until many years later. For me, it took 14 years. I've talked to women where it's taken 40 years for them to realize that abortion hurt them. To realize that their emotional scars, their emotional pain is because of their abortion. So when you write to your senators, when you call your senators, talk about the woman. And that's what the blog post does, is it says, if abortion were healthy for us, then these things wouldn't exist. There wouldn't be multiple curricula for healing, for post-abortion healing. There wouldn't be a shout your abortion regret hashtag. There wouldn't be ambulances at abortion facilities today. There are ambulances taking women to the ER from abortion facilities. There are women who are dying from abortions today. There are women who are dying from the abortion pill today. But we're not seeing that in the mainstream media. But just because we're not seeing it in the news doesn't mean it's not happening. So when you talk to your senators, focus on the woman because it's called the Women's Health Protection Act. They think that abortion protects women's health. So talk about women and their health, their physical health, and their emotional health. And of course, I would talk about their spiritual health too, but I know that my particular senators aren't going to listen to that. Yours might. Call your senators, write your senators. And then, Folks, we need to pray over that December 1st. With all those people assembling at the Supreme Court, we don't want anything anywhere close to January 6th or anywhere close to the riots that we had in the summer of 2020 happening on December 1st. And we know that there is no intention of pro-lifers to do anything negative, to do anything violent, but we also know that there are agitators that go to these events and start things and make it look like pro-lifers are doing things that they're not actually intending. So we need to pray peace over December 1st. And we need to pray that the truth comes out in the process of the court case, and that the Supreme Court justices see the truth, find the legal precedents to overturn Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton and every other court case that allows abortion to be legal in the United States. We have got to overturn Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton and keep abortion, the legalization of abortion from happening, not just to save women and babies in the United States, but around the world, because the rest of the world is watching to see what we do. This was so obvious to me when I was in Uganda, in Africa, that the people that I was there to serve were asking me all sorts of questions about the United States and our presidency and what it is that we're doing. They're looking to us. They think of us as a Christian nation, whether we are or not. And they want to imitate us. They want to emulate us. So we have got to get this right. We need Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton overturned. There is no doubt that has to happen. But going to the Supreme Court building on December 1st is not going to make the difference. It shouldn't make the difference. But our prayers make a difference. So we need to be continuing to pray in a worshipful way. We should be going there in prayer and worship. Go there in prayer and worship. Be the peace. Ask the Lord for more of the Holy Spirit, Luke 11:13. Because the fruit of the Spirit is agape love, which we see expressed as joy and peace, patience and kindness and goodness and faithfulness, gentleness and self-control. If we are the peace, if we are filled with the Holy Spirit, then the peace will prevail on December 1st. So if you are going on December 1st to the Supreme Court building to be with other pro-lifers, go in prayer and worship and filled with the Holy Spirit, filled with peace, filled with self-control, filled with gentleness. Ask Jesus to be the words in your mouth when you speak that day. Pray for peace. And then call your senator. Write your senator. We've got to end the Women's Health Protection Act because it's a lie. It doesn't protect our health. This is Cheryl Critchbaum with the Unpopular Opinion. Good night.